Hey everyone. This is Kate Weatherwise, your favorite weather girl, coming to you on Sunday afternoon, December 21st. It's just after 2:30 Pacific time, and we're going to talk about the weather for Christmas week. This week is Christmas week. Christmas is on Thursday. There's a lot of people who are traveling or who have traveled, and so I want to talk about the weather for this week and how it's going to be. Are we going to have a white Christmas? Are we not? Or what's going to happen? I think that's already been determined. I've talked about it. I know others have talked about it too, but we're going to focus on my community. I put out daily weather outlooks for my community in Eastern Washington. So this is going to focus on that, but then it's also going to branch out and talk about the whole state of Washington and also North Idaho, because North Idaho, I don't want to forget about you guys. You are a vital part of our area, and your weather can be vastly different from the Spokane region, Spokane Coeur d'Alene region. So let's get into it so I don't keep you here too long. We're going to first head over to the satellite imagery. This is the latest atmospheric river, but it is focused more on northern and central California right now. So everything is pushed south because of this system up here and because of this system out here and because of the ITCZ here, the Intertropical Convergence Zone down here. So everything's sort of sandwiched, focused on northern and central California right now. So they are feeling the brunt of all of the rain, flooding. There's tons of flooding going on in northern and central California, in the mountains and elsewhere. And there are flood watches for almost the whole state for the whole week, this Christmas week. So they're gonna feel the rain, and it is semi-normal not to get this much rain, but it is normal-ish for them to have a rainier December. In some cases, in some years. So that's what we're focusing on for them. And then up here, there's some rain in Western Washington. I will go over to the radar. The Seattle area is experiencing rain right now out on the northwestern tip of Washington, Nia Bay and the Strait of Juan Fuca into Victoria Island. And then around the Seattle area, you all have some rain as well. Now, this is all heading to the northeast, and they're actually in a thunderstorm bubble. I don't think that any convection is going to develop, but you never know. You're still in the thunderstorm bubble for at least a little while, and that is what it's looking like for them. Now, over in the Spokane area where I am, we're not looking at a whole lot. There are some showers. You can see some light echoes down here and around. I'm going to animate this, and you can see these are snow showers because it is pretty cold out there. It's 35 degrees where I am right now, which is pretty chilly. The dew point is around freezing. So if there were any precip to pop up, it would most likely fall as snow around the Spokane area, but everything seems to be focused down here in southeast Washington and then over around the Coeur d'Alene with some pop-up snow showers. We may see a stray shower back build towards this area of Spokane this afternoon, but that remains to be seen because the dynamics are there, but there may not be enough to create that lift to squeeze out some snowflakes. So while it would be fun, I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen. So I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll definitely put out there all over the place if it's getting ready to snow or if it's looking like more likely going to snow. And also you can see that the winds are pretty light around the area too. Thankfully, there's really no wind in Montana, western Montana right now. I know they got hammered by that system that came through that gave us 50-mile-per-hour winds in the Spokane area, and down south, 75 to 80-mile-per-hour winds. Montana, once you get past the mountains or east of the mountains, it's very flat out there, so the winds really don't have anything impeding them. So they really, really whipped up in this area and caused quite a bit of damage. And then over in eastern Montana, they had blizzard conditions up in this area of Montana and into North Dakota. They had blizzard conditions earlier this week too. So it's been a busy, busy week, and I'm going to take us over to this is what the map looks like for the whole country and all of the watches and warnings that are going on. See what I was talking about with California all the way down. This green right here, these are flood warnings. The light green are flood advisories, and the darker green is flood watches. So this whole area is being inundated with water right now. And so Western Washington is just seeing the normal rain, although it feels like, oh my gosh, is it going to stop raining? Just because they've had so much rain over the past 2 weeks, every time it starts to rain, you don't know, you kind of have PTSD about it. Is it going to flood my house again? Is it going to, what is it going to do? So the people who experience flooding, they are still digging out, they're still cleaning up, all of those things. So even a little bit of rain just adds insult to injury. And then, of course, there's a winter storm watch in the North Cascades, and there are winter weather advisories for the central and southern Cascades all the way down into southern Oregon too. And then in Montana and Idaho, you guys, those showers that I was talking about right here, it's kind of hard to see because this radar here, this is all snow for them. So there's a winter weather advisory for western Montana for 1 to 3 more inches. It's pretty light, but there's snow over there. And then like I said, we may get a smidgen of snow. We'll see how that pans out for the rest of today. So going back to here, the rest of the country looks pretty quiet, but Eastern Washington definitely looks quiet. There's no watches, no warnings, no nothing for Eastern Washington. It's been cloudy here all day. So where I'm going to go next is the rapid refresh model that shows precipitation coming through and the type of precip. The mountains continue to see snow through the day, and it actually starts to increase. This is through tonight. And then this precipitation starts to head east overnight, which we are going to see a little bit of rain overnight, around 1/10 to 1/15 of an inch of rain. And it's unlikely that most of us will see snow. There may be some snow above 2,500 to 3,000 feet. You may see some snow falling for you guys, but for the vast majority of us, it's just going to be cold rain, and light rain, but cold rain. I know, boring for this time of year, but that's the way it goes. That's the way this La Nina has gone this year. I don't know when that's going to stop. There are some indications that the first week in January is going to switch, and we're actually going to have some cold weather with some snow, hopefully in coming around with the pattern change, but that's still, 3 weeks away. So a lot of things can change. And for right now, we are stuck in a warm pattern, and we will continue to be. It'll be cooler, but it's still going to be 5 to 7 degrees above what we normally experience this time of year. So 38 degrees instead of 30 degrees. And 42 degrees instead of 35 degrees. So it's not going to be pleasant. If you like the cold weather, which I do, it's December, coming up to Christmas and heading into to the new year. I want to see cold. I want to see snow. That's what I want to see. And that's just not the case so far. I know that's going to change. It's not going to stay this way all winter long. But we're just used to seeing a white ground from snow that falls and sticks and stays, and we just haven't had that this year so far. So as we go through, this is 10 o'clock tonight. We do have a little bit of snow. It looks like may try to pop down around midnight and get to those higher elevations, say Saddleback Mountain. You all above, like I said, 2,500 feet may experience some snow overnight, but it's going to be overnight. So unless you're a night owl, you're not even going to know that it's fallen until you wake up in the morning. You may see some white on the ground. And then this kind of exits before we wake up tomorrow morning, our Monday morning. So that'll be out of here. And then the colder air stays with us. Today, Sunday, is going to be our coldest day of the week. So it's going to be in the upper 30s and low 40s for highs the rest of the week in eastern Washington. And so that's what we're looking at. In western Washington, you guys have some systems coming in, but it's not going to be the deluge that you have experienced. Your Christmas day, I'll get to in a minute. The mountains are going to see some snow. The lowlands are going to see some rain. And that's always how it goes this time of year. So this takes us out through, here's another system that comes in on Monday afternoon for some more rain and then mountain snow for all of the Cascades. And then the mountains of Idaho and eastern Montana, or western Montana and eastern Washington, it's going to be on the drier side. So we may get some snow here off and on, but it's not going to be a lot. So it's going to be on the drier side for the mountains and the ski mountains around the area. So this goes out until the 23rd at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to flip us over here. This takes us through. There's another system that is coming through on the 23rd, and it's sort of backing in from the southeast to the northwest. Now, I have talked about this system as being a windier system as it comes through. The wind has really backed off since then, and forward model runs, the wind has really backed off. So I don't think we're going to pick up any big winds or bigger breezy winds, kind of gusty winds with this. It's just going to be a little bit of rain and snow. The further north you go and into Idaho, you'll get some snow from this too. But and then after Wednesday, it's like off and on rain, off and on chance for snow at night at higher elevations. It's kind of one of those scenarios. It reminds me of when I used to live in Western Washington, and the snow levels would be like 400. If you're above 400 feet, you're going to see snow. Or if you're above 900 feet, you're going to see snow. If you're down to 700 feet, it's going to be a mix. If you're at 500 feet, nothing. It's going to be all rain, that sort of thing. That's what we've been experiencing this winter and frankly last winter as well. So that's what's going to happen. Although I think on Christmas Eve, it's going to be all rain for all of us, unless you go far north into Idaho, far north, almost to the Canadian border in northeastern Washington. So this system goes through on Christmas Eve. And then, so we have a little bit of snow, or a little bit of rain, 1/10 of an inch, 1/15 of an inch. That's a little, that's not too much. And then Christmas Day, highs again around 36 to 40 degrees for most of us, and there may be some mixing of rain and snow during the day or during the evening on Christmas Day. So that's what we are looking at. This is that Christmas Day. The rapid refresh model, which shows the model hour to hour, doesn't go out this far yet. So I may have to revamp this forecast, but for now it shows some snow to the north in North Idaho and northern Washington, almost the whole way across on Christmas Day. But around here, we'll maybe get that precip that moves through Christmas morning, but it's going to be rain for most of us. And then this is Christmas night. We could get could be cold enough where we could see some mixed precip Christmas night into the day after Christmas, early in the morning, the day after Christmas. So the purples and blues could see some mixed precipitation. But again, it's at night. We're going to be, inside and not be wanting to play outside. So this is 1 o'clock in the morning. Again, snow for a lot of Stevens County, Pend Oreille County, into North Idaho. And then, so this should bring snow to Schweitzer Mountain and the passes of Idaho. And then the lower elevations, mixed precipitation with rain as well. And then snow again. This is 4 o'clock in the morning. the day after Christmas, snow continues for everybody in North Idaho. So that's good. I'm happy for you guys. And then this shows a little bit of a windy situation coming in on Friday morning, a little bit breezy. Maybe some snow around. We'll see. This is 4 o'clock the day after Christmas, December 26th. Snow in the mountains again. So off and on, snow in the mountains is the overwhelming theme. And that on the borderline of rain and snow for us. And it's going to be a daily forecast that I put out, and sometimes an hourly forecast, depending on what I'm looking at on radar, what is coming our way, and where the elevation is going to be between the rain and snow line. So this is what we're looking at too for probabilities of temperature-wise from the 29th of of December through January 4th. And it still shows us in that warm pattern. So that's a little bit of a bummer for me. Some of you may like it, but I don't. I don't. So anyway, like I said, the second week of January 10th onward is kind of, if you look at the long range forecasts, it is looking more kind of like we're going to get back into like a switching pattern where we're in the cold and the east is in the warmer sector, but we'll see how that goes. We are still in a La Nina type seasonal setting, but this La Nina has not been typical. Sometimes it's not. Usually La Nina means colder and more moisture for this part of the world. But this year it hasn't really been. Montana has been getting their typical, but even they are a tad bit warmer than they're used to, even though they got blizzard conditions up here the other day. So anyway, that is going to be it for the forecast for all of Washington and North Idaho. And we talked a little bit about California as well. But if you want to stick around for my next forecast, I'm going to be doing one next for the entire country for Christmas week. So just be on the lookout for that video next. If you stayed here, I'm going on 18 minutes. So I know some of you like to watch the whole thing all the way through. And that's where I like to say at the end, please, thank you for watching all the way through, and please subscribe, like, share, comment this video and my page to people that you know who love weather and want to hear about the weather on a daily basis. It is my passion, and I have been in this industry my whole life. I just love it so much. So thanks a lot, guys. This is your weather forecast for Christmas week for Washington State and North Idaho. And stick around for my next forecast that will be coming out for the rest of the country if you're flying, wherever you're flying in the country to visit family, or if they're coming to see you out here. All right, guys, this is Kate Weatherwise saying bye for now.